Incredible.
I'm just gonna put this in the chat real quick, or in our chat.
Pop locking and dropping tonight.
Oh dang!
The
They
chat
are
will
ready.
be absolutely just flooded like a torrential downpour.
I heard Mr. Russell would be
live.
in the building, and they were like, "Oh my goodness, like for sure."
Always with the Tim Burton
torrent-
One Piece things that I want to draw with Packer Girl.
Who just so happens to be here. Hi, Packer Girl. And I think, with that, it is go time. Welcome to the A3K Podcast, powered by the fine folks at anime3000.com. This is where the future of anime and manga will be broadcasted and podcasted. I'm the host. My name is David Majors. Welcome to A3K Live, everybody. We broadcast live on the intertubes at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at A3K TV on YouTube, and you can get the podcast wherever you feel, courtesy of anime3000.com. My co-host, the hooded, shadowy figure to my internet left, the one, the only, Jack-O-Lantern, Dalton Alastair Cookie the 17th. Jake Quellen, what is going on, my dear?
So many things are going on. I appreciate you bringing up the fact that there is a character named basically Jack-O-Lantern who is going to be approaching in Guilty Gear Xrd, which I don't have, so here's all the Fairly Odd Parents memes of if I had one. How are you doing tonight, David?
I am doing peachy keen like it's Halloween. That's another Jack-O-Lantern reference. We've got some guests this evening.
Too spoopy.
I'm just going to roll with it.
3 spoopy, 5 me.
Let's just get the apologies out of the way right now, Jack, and introduce our first guest, who will hopefully save this. He is the host of Two Guys on a Mic, the incomparable Mr. Jahmere Durham. Jahmere, what's going on?
What's going on, man? Good to be on the A3K Podcast again. Going to be on a lot more of these, repping the Sonic the Hedgehog and Tails Cat. Sonic 2, one of the best games in Genesis besides the Streets of Rage series. Hope everybody is doing great. Let's get to podcasting.
You are speaking my language with that Sonic 2 and Streets of Rage, sir. Thanks for coming back on.
Fashion
and our
game
other
on
guest
point.
on fleek, as the kids say.
Oh, freak. Whatever that means. You kids,
And
power
Jahmere just
noobs
really
out
did a
there.
spit take.
They
Now,
say it
Jahmere,
all the time. I still don't know what it means.
hold that in, because we have another guest this evening, and is none other than the general manager, the executive producer, the commissioner of food and beverage of the A3K network, the one, the only, Mr. Sean McRussell IV. Sir!
Oh yeah, brother. We're going to do it real big on the A3K live show tonight.
It's Saturday night's main event, baby, and there's nothing quite like A3K Live. Use that hashtag, that thing I just said, A3K Live. Join the conversation, as they say. Or you can join in on YouTube. There's a YouTube chat. And yes, we actually pay attention and answer all of you, especially if you say something funny. If you say something funny and hopefully break one of us, you will get all sorts of internet love. And that's what we're all here for, right? Is to have Internet Senpai notice us. Please? Anyone
Yes, indeed.
out there?
Indeed. Everybody's talking
Please.
shit about the blue screen again. I think I need to choke somebody. Also,
Well, first,
I'm not just a part of Organization 13, One Eye Season 3D. I started it. There you go.
she's not just a president, she's also a client.
Kingdom Hearts 3, spoiled, ruined. I did it. Squids did 9/11. You gotta stop playing the games now.
Oh, shit.
Now, there is someone out there right now, Jack, listening to the podcast,
Yes.
that heard you say that and is screaming to the heavens, "Wake up, sheeple!
Yep.
Why didn't anyone listen?"
Yep. One person. Just
Ruined
one.
that guy's day.
You know they're going to
sure did.
find Sean wherever he's sleeping. They're going to use the ringleader behind all that shit. arrested because of his beard.
That's Sean A. Russell on Twitter, at Sean A. Russell, for all of your feedback for the A3K podcast this evening.
Let him know how horrible it is. It's not any of our fault. He's making us do this.
That's at Sean A. Russell.
I've got files.
Help me. I'm scared. We're all under his control.
He has pictures. You guys saw me at those conventions. He got pictures, and there were some things. That
I do bulk data collecting on my spare time.
Topical humor. I kind of turn up a little bit at conventions, and well, it's all blackmail from there. So
wasn't there a thing about
for me? It's always blackmail.
It's only blackmail if you have to use it. Otherwise, it's fun picture time. Very fun picture time.
All right, whoa.
Adult picture time.
As long as it's not on your phone, you're fine. As long as it's not on your phone.
Because the squids will see it. Because they hack the government.
And it all comes back around.
All right, Snowden, let's keep it going.
Yes.
All right. Jumping right into the first story, someone out there thought it was a really good idea to make a live-action Robotech movie. And this movie now has a director. And it's actually a director that is actually fairly reputable. James Wan, director of the Fast and the Furious sequel, Furious 7, has been tagged to be the director of the live-action Robotech movie that Sony Pictures acquired the rights for in March. And the screenwriter will also be Michael Gorton from 300. So previous speculation on a potential director. Go ahead, Jack.
No, just reacting for a moment about what is happening in front of me. What do you want?
I know. I mean,
please.
All of this story, it's incredible. I mean, I've been talking shit about Robotech like for months.
Yes.
And now this is actually looking like it could actually be a fairly well done project. And the thing is, nowadays, the precedent for giant mechs in movies has been set with Pacific Rim. Jahmere, do you think that this might actually not suck, this Robotech movie?
As far as Robotech goes, I can honestly say that I've never really been a huge fan of Robotech. I lean more towards the Gundam side, which I know. I think if I don't know which came first. Did Robotech come after Gundam? Gundam's like 1970.
Well, with Robotech, it gets kind of weird because it was like 1984, 85. But Macross and Mobile Suit Gundam, they came out like both around 1979, 1980. James
Wan, as a director, I feel like I've seen a couple of his movies before Furious 7, but I don't remember what they are. That doesn't really bode well for him. Furious 7 was in no means a bad film. Because having seen all the other ones except for 3, because 3 was a waste of time to me. But I think if he gets the right actors, not Dwayne Johnson, I think if he gets the right actors...
I was just going to say that.
If he gets the right actors to play different parts, which goes for any movie, I don't know who he would get, because I don't know who the main character is, and I don't know what the story is behind it. But he's got giant robots, he's got destruction, and I know Robotech's based on story. So if he gets the story right, it'll be really good. But I think he can also work on the naivety that some Americans have with the franchise, because not every American really knows like what Robotech is. So he might be able to work with that.
Those damn gaijins.
Yeah. Those foreigners, we don't know shit, so they might be able to sneak something in there. Because the people, I can tell you right now, the people who probably know Robotech's story are the minority compared to the people who don't know it, who are going to the movies and just say, "Oh, a movie about robots."
Yeah, people who know the Robotech story are probably dead. I'm sorry.
Nowadays, wouldn't there be more people, even in like the weeaboo otaku circle, wouldn't more of them know Macross than Robotech?
I think they would know Macross music, but
definitely.
Macross.
I think Macross at this point, and this is saying a lot, is more accessible, or more easier to forget than Robotech. I'm just saying.
I agree, and honestly, I never really knew a thing about Robotech back in the day. Me being Mr. Lover of all things giant robot, Robotech is completely foreign to me. So I'm saying the only way I really might see this is if I'm forced to review it.
Oh wow!
Or if Dwayne Johnson is in it.
Huh?
Because Dwayne Johnson is in everything.
We have to convince John Cena to be in it too. Then it'll be so gloriously horrible.
This is the obligatory John Cena cameo.
It's like how you have Stan Lee. Like how you have Stan Lee in every freaking Marvel movie, which is awesome because he's Stan Lee and he is legit and the real Stan Lee, and he's just hanging out. But no, it'll be like John Cena, and they'll try and like give it as much fanfare. Like, man, if only I was John Cena, and he'll just be talking to Dwayne Johnson the whole time, just like, but that doesn't have anything to do with Robot. I'm John Cena.
Cena.
The only thing that I can think of is when people watch the trailer for Robotech in the theater, like, you know what Robotech, because you're an anime fan, so you know what Robotech is. The trailer comes on, you're like, oh, here's the trailer for Robotech. All right, I've seen it already. Let's see how the people react to it. And the only thing that you hear is a person next to you saying, like, why haven't they made a movie about Gundam yet? Because that's, like, the only thing.
Because they did, and you don't want to see it.
Because like, they want to make money.
A live-action Gundam, like, oh, so it's live-action Gundam. No, it's Robotech. It's what?
There was a live-action Gundam thing before, and the less we talk about it, the better.
Japanese?
They'd have to make a Gundam, a G Gundam movie.
It was Canadian, and it certainly wasn't an Ocean Group dub. I'll say that much.
Well, that's your problem right there. It was Canadian.
Yeah. They did. They have a good dubbing. That's about it.
No, it'll do well. I think it actually will. Given the Americans' penchant for watching movies based on destruction and not having a plot at all, I think Robotech would do actually well.
San Andreas.
Oh yeah.
I saw that. Oh God.
Also with Dwayne Johnson.
Yes. Yeah, that's nothing but here. I'm going to put a rock in a movie about the Earth falling to shit and pay me for it. That's all that was.
I can only imagine that there's a generation of children that are like, "Who's The Rock?"
Oh my God.
Are saying Dwayne Johnson was a wrestler?
Oh, that hurts me in my Kokoro.
Times.
Jack, now you understand. You're starting to understand.
I do. I've fallen into a deep hole. Sample that. Put it everywhere. I demand.
No, I won't do that. Jack, I won't do that to you after the whole sucking of fluids incident. I won't do that to you.
Oh, so we sampled that already? Is it already 5 different chopped and buzzed guiled dubstep theme remixes?
Sucking fluids.
I feel like I need a user's guide to understand what you guys are talking about.
I thought Sean was speaking of sucking fluids.
Speaking of sucking fluids.
That's only what I'm hosting.
Speaking of sucking fluids, let's just get this one out of the way right now, everybody. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Everybody take your first drink of the evening.
JoJo!
And if you're playing along at home, this is the official beginning of the A3K Podcast drinking game. Every time anyone on this show mentions JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, starting now, you must take a drink. And while we all consume, let's try and bring a little light into this story. Because, guys, I know everyone always likes to talk about how the anime industry's dead and it's falling to pieces and everyone's going to die.
Apparently in 25 years.
But they JoJo. They got JoJo.
No.
Drink.
Dragon Ball is coming back, and it's going to save everything.
Until September 5th.
Right. But the official date...
I'm running out of Dragon Ball pictures for this podcast.
Did you see the title of that episode, Sean? with me and Mark from the Mega Anime Ultra Show.
Oh man.
Like we said, we're totally not tired of talking about Dragon Ball. This is the last story. There's nothing else left to talk about Dragon Ball Super after this.
When they announced that Dragon Ball Super is going to be debuted at Anime Expo, then you're going to have to talk about that.
No, you're going to talk about that because you're going, right? You're the one going?
Yes, I am going. Just got confirmed for press, so I am locked and loaded.
Whoop, whoop.
We are literally posting more stuff about Dragon Ball Super
Than Funimation.
Dragon Ball period than IGN's Facebook page is posting about Suicide Squad.
Dang.
That's literally
a lot.
every day.
But this is the last one I'm doing. Is this no more? I'm only saying this one final time. The official release date for the Dragon Ball Super anime is July 5th. And the not completely confirmed confirmation start date of the filler will be September 5th.
Oh my god. Well, at least they tell you. They ain't going to be an ass about it. They're like, oh, we're doing filler. You think we're going to do filler?
It's Dragon Ball, guys. It's Dragon Ball.
I mean, is
filler.
anybody really going to give Toriyama credit to keep things going for that long?
Can Toriyama even be blamed if this show sucks?
I'm pretty sure he's at the head of it. I'm pretty sure he's going to be the showrunner for this.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And the manga.
I think we'll be blamed if it sucks because people will complain and say it sucks, but it won't. Because that's the kind of fandom that happens when anime is involved. Excuse me.
Jack.
Excuse me.
You're saying that people within the anime fandom bitch and complain about things completely unwarranted?
You would be so surprised.
Jack.
Oh, and then, it gets crazier. It gets crazier, David. Then they like things that are horrible. Do you understand? They go, okay, no, I don't want to watch Dragon Ball Super. I'm going to go back. I'm going to watch GT. That's my shit.
Oh, stop it, Jack. Nobody likes GT.
Somebody's sitting in their home looking at the next summer schedule, and they're just laying back like, so, we got another Dragon Ball series. Really? Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting over here drinking my tea, waiting for this next season of Astaroth's Toy, because apparently that's more important than a new Dragon Ball series. And I have
Sean, new rule.
I've seen a Dragon Ball series since Z. I skipped G.
New rule, Sean.
Yes.
Any and every mention of Astaroth's Toy on this podcast gets a mute, starting now.
Oh, God.
I was making.
We can't have Mike on the show then.
I was making a point.
I'm sorry.
That's the rule, starting now.
I don't know why people think Mike liked that show. He actually didn't.
No, God.
Why do we think that then?
I was just making a point.
Whoa.
I want to know someone out there who actually did enjoy that show. Who liked that show? Well, aside from Cody.
He loved it, but that goes without saying. I mean, it's Cody Byer.
Yeah,
we don't talk about what he likes.
That's his thing. That's his thing. But yeah, that show. You know what? No, we're not doing that. You know what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about something great. We're going to talk about something awesome. Something that didn't break the internet. It saved the internet. It picked up the pieces of the garbage and the filth, and it put it back together and created something beautiful and majestic. And we all owe it to Swedish filmmaker David Sandberg. Of course, I'm talking about the release of Kung Fury. Jack.
Let's talk about Kung Fury, yeah!
Now, last episode on the podcast, I said in my dotting that everyone needed to watch this. It is a fantastic 30-minute short film. Jay Quellen.
Yes.
What did you think of Kung Fury, my dear?
I'm going to tell a little story, which I told before we started, kind of now, but not really. But I used to be part of an improv group, and we would play several games that you would often see on shows such as Whose Line Is It Anyway? Free Drew! But one time we played the dating game, and if you're ever familiar with the character traits that you get on that, sometimes you'll get the entire cast of South Park or something thereof. I received the card, the entire cast of an action movie. And just imagine, if you will, just you sit there, you just rapid fire. The pieces are falling together. No, just imagine, just in your face, rapid fire, completely, just no end, no stop, no breathing, rushing forward, nonstop, 100 miles an hour at every time, in your face. That's basically this movie. This movie isn't just a regular action movie. It's basically if you take a small child and go, okay, first off, here's a Red Bull. Secondly, make an action movie. I'll film it. And then give it like a massive special effects budget and a whole cast of professional actors. You know what this is? I just realized. I'm sorry. I'm taking up a lot of time. This is basically like if the kid who writes the story for Axe Cop grows up and gets a budget to make an action movie. That's what's going to happen. This is that. Oh, God, it's so good.
So what you're saying is it was wonderful in everything that I told you it would be.
It was a very low-key. It was really inspiring, and I think that many fans of Nora Ephron's slow-paced, cerebral, romantic comedies will get a lot of mileage out of this one. A lot of mileage.
Sean?
Yes?
Did you get the chance to check out Kung Fury?
And all of its 30-minute glory.
Please, by all means, give us your hot take.
Well, Kung Fury is without a doubt the greatest thing to come out of YouTube since the cat playing the piano. And by means of watching action, I mean, this guy, he's standing on top of a Lamborghini, and he's shooting an arcade machine, and he slides on a Nazi soldier. He surfboards on a Nazi soldier. I mean, it's like from beginning to end, this show is just awesome. I mean, there's nothing not to like about it because it doesn't take itself seriously. It's funny when it needs to be. It's the perfect parody of an 80s movie, and it's just great. There's nothing, and it's the right length too. I think if it was any longer than 30 minutes, it might have lost its charm, but it begins and ends at the right place. You have to watch this. If you haven't watched it, then you failed as a human being.
Now, Jahmere, while you've been out defending our country against the forces of evil, Sean thinks that you're a failure as a human being. But I'm just going to simply going to pitch Kung Fury to you. Okay, and I want you to check it out and let me know what you think later on. Kung Fury stars a young Miami cop. Think, Miami Vice, dude kind of looks like Johnny Depp a little bit. Young Johnny Depp.
Okay.
He also just happens to be, his partner and him were chasing a rogue kung fu master. And our young hero got struck by lightning and bit by a cobra, and became a kung fu master. And the bad guy in this film is Adolf Hitler, who calls himself Kung Führer because, Germany.
Hold up.
Sure.
Grab your...
Another sip.
Sure. Go ahead. I mean, I understand, Hitler, Cobra, sure. 80s action. All right, now, Kung Führer is the worst criminal of all time. So, Kung Fury is going to go back in time. He's going to hack time with the help of Hacker Man. He's going to go back in time and kill Hitler once and for all. That is the beginning of Kung Fury.
So what you're basically saying is it's about a cop who's tracking down Adolf Hitler, and he has to go back in time with another guy to kill Adolf Hitler because Adolf Hitler is suddenly a kung fu master.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yeah, check it out. It's on YouTube. It's great. It's awesome.
It's 30 minutes, it's free, and it's awesome. That's all you need to know.
And also, the Kickstarter did so well that it got shown at the Cannes Film Festival, and the director and writer, David Sandberg, is working on a full feature-length release. So,
Are you serious?
Why?
That's the one
Why
I
can't you just let it be a cult for like?
You should have just kept it in its 30-minute form. It's not going to be as good as a full feature.
you know, I have faith in this. I donated to the Kickstarter. I was one of the people that, in the first 48 hours of this Kickstarter going live, it got $250,000.
They're stupid because what they could have done is released it every 6 months, a brand new episode, and you would have had the hype for 2 years instead of releasing a movie that's probably going to suck.
You could have done the Hellsing Ultimate release and just let people sit on their laurels and forget about your series, and then right when they're on the brink of forgetting that it even exists, just come back with, oh yes, here's episode 5.
Because I'm guessing David Sandberg actually wants to release something more than once a decade, Jahmere.
Hey, Hellsing Ultimate let people sit for like a year per 45-minute episode, and then they still got paid.
Well, so did Giant Robo, so I can't say too much. Guys, just to break for a second, can we get an echo check? I believe that might be Jahmere.
Echo check.
Echo check.
Echo check.
Echo check. Talk, talk, talk.
Hey,
All right.
I
I
E.
think we're good.
Echo, echo.
All
Do you
right.
hear an echo, echo?
No.
No echo, echo?
I don't.
Okay.
Jack, you okay? You all right?
I got a little JonTron stuck in my throat. I'm sorry.
Chat room, you okay?
Echo check.
Everybody
to the
out there?
chat room.
God damn it, Chad!
Echo
I can
check
hear
for the
that
chat
echo
room.
in my ears. 10 seconds
Everybody
after
out there
the
at DiamondClub.tv, you guys good?
A Curious Scott, I'm hearing an echo from you. A Curious Scott, you mind check your settings?
One Eye's in 3D.
Oh my god.
Put your headphones in, please.
Please. Unplug and plug in your headphones, please.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. I do believe we are okay. Now, Jack, like a good team captain, as I often like to do, I'm going to pass the ball to you because I believe you have something regarding the PS Vita you wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah, the well-known.
I'm passing the sports ball to you,
underground
Jack.
sensation. Go sports ball, score the points, win the game, earn the teammate point, goal, checkmate. Yeah. I like sports ball. Okay. Welcome everyone to a little segment I would like to call the Council of 12 segment, otherwise known
Now,
as.
just for a little bit.
Yes.
Just for a little bit of ground, the Council of 12 is something that was put out by noted podcaster and interneter Anthony Carboni as a term for owners of the infamous PlayStation Vita.
Yeah.
Because 12 people that own it.
Don't explain the joke. If you have to explain the joke, Harley, don't call me Puddin'. All right. Enough of that. This segment is otherwise known as Jack hates you for not owning a PS Vita. I'm not going to get into the reasons why, the capabilities. I'm going to talk about the pointless back touchscreen, which is only integral in a really good game by Media Molecule known as Tearaway. I'm not even going to get into that game. I'm going to get into the games proper. And I'm looking over here at my extensive library of very decent, if a little on the animo side, because a lot of Western developers can't really wrap their heads around a simple portable device. I also say, really quickly, that you can access Crunchyroll on the Vita, and it is nice and glorious, and every once in a while, I'll just kind of sit there in my little nest at 3 in the morning and go, Let me rewatch some more JoJo. I need to rewatch JoJo again. JoJo. Man, something about that word makes me think that people are dying tonight of liver failure. I wonder, JoJo. But anyway, fellas, you guys like games. I'd like each of you to tell me about a certain genre of game that you enjoy, be it fighting or first-person shooter, strategy, and all that. And I will ignore all of those and talk about one particular game that I have been tweeting about on the A3K Twitter, and I'll just give it its own little its own little place in the spotlight. Excuse me. This Council of 12 are very rubbery lipped, so we're not very good at speaking good words on live internet. So, Jahmere, what kind of games do you enjoy? She asked, knowing the answer.
I play fighting games.
That's right! You know what kind of fighting games are on the PS Vita, including one that's going to be released at the end of this month, except in the middle? It's June 15th. Blaze Blue Chrono Phantasma Extend. They've already got Continuum Shift Extend, the best one, and they've got Chrono Phantasma out there, and they've got the shitty little visual novel, and they've got the sequel to that.
Yeah, we don't talk about X-Blade.
We don't talk about X-Blaze. Nobody talks about X-Blaze. Anyway, if y'all don't know about Blaze Blue, which you fucking should, it's wonderful. And I'd highly suggest, I don't like to plug a lot, but Cody Beyer, our infamous lover of Astaroth's Toy, did a 3-part thing about the whole story of Blaze Blue. Listen to that and don't tell me.
What did I just say, Jeff?
I didn't get muted. You missed the Neff bomb.
I'm a horde.
Good God, I cursed myself there.
Are there any plans for this to come out on the Vita?
Blaze Blue.
Guilty Gear XR.
Any plans?
Oh God. So the developers Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, so like the newest Persona Arena, they're gonna do. They're hoping to bring that to the Vita. I haven't heard anything from ArcSys wanting to bring Zerd to the Vita, but maybe it's possible. I mean, Arc System Works does a shit ton of stuff. Axis Games in general just does a shit ton of stuff for it, which brings me to the thing. But I didn't talk to the other guys. Okay, Sean, what are your favorite games?
I like chess.
I'm gonna kill you.
Damn,
take over the network. You can play that for free on the Vita, by the way, so I won't kill you. I'll let you buy a Vita, download free chess to play, and then I'll kill you.
Sean is probably like, I can also play it against people at my school. And against old men.
Nerd.
Sean, can't you just go up to Publix and find an old man and be like, would you like to play some chess?
Would you like to play some chess?
Chess is a game of kings.
I dare you to find Mike Tyson wherever he is and
queens.
Go, can you play some chess? He'll go, do you want to play chess? And you'll go, I'm sorry?
Who want to play chess? Jesus
I'm sorry.
Yes, I would like to play some chess.
I want to play chess. I want to play chess. You go, I want to play some chess with you, Mike Tyson. I'm sorry, what?
If you keep playing with me, I'm going to eat your children.
I broke my back today playing chess.
I'm going to eat the placenta.
I just want to say, in case Mike Tyson ever listens to this podcast, I really enjoy the Mike Tyson Mysteries on Adult Swim.
Oh, that show is awesome. Norm Macdonald.
I loved you in Punch-Out.
Norm Macdonald is awesome.
I loved you in Punch-Out. Why aren't you in the Wii? Oh, right. I'm not sorry. I refuse to apologize this episode, except I already did.
You did.
All right, David. What kind of video games do you like?
Well, since Jahmere already mentioned fighting games, I'm going to deviate a little bit from the norm and say that I enjoy rhythm games. I enjoy games like Dyad.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, looks like One Eye Season 3D is challenging Sean to a chess game.
So I guess it isn't for nerds.
Well, clearly, the YouTube comment section for an anime podcast is the most normal, well-adjusted people.
I think he's challenging into a game of Go.
Oh, and nerd! I take back what I said. But you are Lelouch confirmed
Jack,
now.
I do not condone your usage of the N-word on this podcast.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. Colton was so upset to realize that people were calling
That's
him
our
such a
word.
hurtful term.
That's our word.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No
But
nerd,
some of my
no nerd
friends are
shaming here.
nerds.
No nerd shaming here.
Don't worry,
So
Colton is
different.
my nerd. Colton is my nerd.
Is he-
So he can use that word
No
with me.
no N words, please. Thank you.
No more N-words. Including no, which means you can only say yes when I barge into your house comment section.
Hey now.
So rhythm games. There are a few on the Weeby side. There's the Vocaloid games, which are actually going down in price. So you've got Project Diva F and Project Diva F Second. Let's talk about a little lesser known one, because being a member of the Council of 12, I peruse every single game that's on there of every possible genre. And there's one that's actually made by Axis that's really kind of decent, and it's different. It's a puzzle/rhythm game. Are any of you familiar with Magical Beat?
Those are my favorite type of games. The puzzle where you solve things and then music changes. Those are my favorite kinds of games. You have my
Let me tell
attention,
you.
Jay Quellen.
Let me describe this to you. Imagine Tetris Attack for the Super Nintendo, where you've got these large blocks that are constantly, well, they're not rising like in Tetris Attack, but it feels very much like Tetris Attack in the way that you can screw over your opponent with faster combos than them. A lot like those Nintendo puzzle games often were. More like Yoshi's Cookie, actually, but maybe I'm showing my age here. You guys are too young, I guess. But I felt good saying that. I don't care. This is a game where you have a little L block, a little L-shaped block of 3 colored blocks, and you have to drop them, like hard drop them, like you would do in Tetris by either pressing a shoulder button on a console version of it or just pressing down. And you have to do so to the beat of the music that is playing. And here's where it gets really interesting. There is a huge amount of downloadable music from the BlazBlue and Guilty Gear series for this game at a pittance of a price. Plus downloadable characters of the BlazBlue, and it's in this really nice chibi pixel style. So you can have little chibi pixel Jin against one of the little characters from that game itself, so like versus a little tiny squid. Uh-oh.
You had me
squid?
at Guilty Gear soundtrack, Jack.
Yes. Guilty Gear, BlazBlue, Daisuke Ishwatari soundtrack, and I think he even did the visual novel that we don't speak of, but
Explain.
you do get some good soundtracks from that too. I did download them just because Daisuke Ishwatari has me in his ass pocket, and I would do anything for that man. He likes Queen! He likes Queen so much. You can tell. I love this man.
Just for the record, Jack, ass pocket will definitely be clipped and used in the future.
Ass pocket, ass pocket, ass pocket, ass pocket, ass pocket, pocket.
You have your
pocket.
own like encyclopedia of words, like how me and Mike do.
Ass. Like, just sample that, and we'll have a little soundboard, so then every once in a while, if I'm talking too long, Sean can go, ass pocket, da 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 da. Fluids. So we've got a huge plethora of these kinds of games, but I'm going to tell you guys about a genre that you did not mention, which is still from the queen, the king, the all-knowing elder god of game developing, particularly for Sony currently. Axis Games.
EA Sports.
It's in the game.
Good job. Nailed it, David. Nailed it. But no. Axis has created for their 10th anniversary a game so beautiful. Oh, and by the way, I believe I don't know if they're actually part of the developers in the little opening, but I do think that they have Vanillaware doing graphics, because this looks like Odin Spear, Muramasa, Dragon's Crown, games like that. this is a little game called Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters, and when I first saw the game cover art for this,
That's the
it
most
looked
anime name
like
ever.
it looked like Animu, and I hated it. And when I looked at some of the screenshots for the game, they were just showing the game, like the strategy portion of it, and none of the character artwork. And I went, nah, this sucks. It's not worth $5, let alone $40. But it finally dropped in price to about $20 during a Golden Week sale, and I picked it up, and it's very interesting. First off, the game it's got visual novel aspects to it, but the interesting way that you interact with the characters is you have a 5-sense system. You react either by sight, taste, smell, touch, or hearing, and you can actually basically just lick anybody. So it's very similar to Leisure Suit Larry in game mechanics, at least in that part. So basically, I've been beating the shit out of your female companion because she's a bitch, but the story goes is that you are a new student, and you can customize your name, your height, even your eyesight in both eyes separately. So, like, I actually made my guy as short as possible. I gave him the perfect vision in one eye and terrible vision in the other eye. And you discover this group of people who run an occult magazine and then exorcise ghosts. And as you can see from this footage here, it's like a turn-based strategy game. And then when you're actually interacting with the ghosts, you'll see visuals and animation of them, and when you attack. And it's a very solid playstyle like that. Very much like, I'm a big fan of Disgaea, so it really hits home for me, but I don't think the level cap is nearly that huge. And if you play the really cool metagame in it, then you're going to be over-leveled, which I was. There's a little tabletop type game that's basically a miniature version of that, and you get to be like a nun or a group of brothers who look a little bit to me like the character, like the two brothers in Supernatural, and the game's called Hypernatural, and it's the same font, and I'm like, Axis, is this a parody? What?
So what you're saying is that this game is big with the Tumblr crowd.
It's spoopy. It's 3 spoopy 5 me.
Ah.
This game is you have to play it because there's just a vast amount that I can't even get into. You can combine items with the little weird guy. There's even, I'm actually going to plan on talking about this whenever Colton and I can discuss Love Live. Oh, spoilers. That's going to happen and things. But I'm actually going to mention that this game has a chapter that does idol personalities right, where they have more to them besides, I want to be happy. No, one of them comes up to you and says, guess what? I think my co-star that I was in an idol group with, I think she's killing people because she wants to sing. And you realize she's not just, I want everybody to be happy. No, she feels resentful. She feels like a human being. She feels like the complete opposite of what the Japanese musical industry wants you to think that she is, which makes it really, really engaging.
So in other words, what you're saying is that the Japanese musical industry is filled with potentially explosive young women who could be prone to violence.
Very, very much so.
All right.
And one little detail that I think makes this really damn interesting, especially for the anime fan in our chat who likes good shit. Y'all in the chat talking about the bad shit you watch, but I know a lot of you in there watch JoJo because we had what is basically a JoJo RP last time because y'all just quoted JoJo nonstop. By the way, drink. Thank you. Thank you. Good man. But y'all watch JoJo. I know a few of you were watching some recent stuff, and y'all excited for Dragon Ball. This has a very interesting setup where every time you start a new chapter, it gives you the opening theme, which you see in the beginning of the game proper after the opening cutscene. and then it ends, and the text will auto-scroll while another theme plays, and then it'll fade out and finish the credits every chapter. So it's like you're playing an anime, except it's a good anime. For some reason, this thing is so cliché.
That's important, Jack. That's important right there, because visual novels, anime adaptations of games, they're usually terrible. But if you're saying this is good, say the name of that game one more time before we move on.
Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters, the only thing that takes the strange transfer student mysteriously appearing at your new school and makes it work.
All right. And Jack's going to put those in the show notes, so we'll put that out on the podcast for all of you to check out, for you potential curious PS Vita curious folks out there, all 7 of you that might be curious. But Jahmere, there was something that came out in the news a couple of days ago from Kickstarter that caught your attention, right, for Animego.
Yes. Let me talk to you guys for a minute about the glorious, glorious man named Kenichi Sanada. All right? He writes and makes anime and manga. Most of you may have heard of his work. If you hadn't, you need to educate yourselves. He's a creator of Gunsmith Cats and Riding Bean. And Mike and I are very, very, very big fans of Gunsmith Cats and Riding Bean. So we did a podcast, actually for the first ever third week throwback, fun fact, was the Riding Bean movie. And we have repeatedly said that if somebody has the balls to make a Riding Bean movie on Blu-ray because it exists in 1080p format, just subbed, okay, they don't have the dub version of it, which is sad, but it looks glorious. But if we could own it on disc, we would. And lo and behold, journey.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Jahmere.
Anime news. Animego has decided that since Otaku no Video apparently made them a shit ton of money, and they love moolah, they said, screw it. This was great. Why don't we just make another Kickstarter for another film that somebody might want, myself included? So, Riding Bean is going to get a special edition Blu-ray, but only if you put in money. So, if you put in money for Otaku no Video, and you didn't know what the fuck it was, you just wanted to see old anime get a Blu-ray release, which, I mean, come on, we could all use old anime getting a Blu-ray release with some of the stuff that's being released these days. I mean, my God.
Hey, they got Bubblegum Crisis out. I'm good.
They did the first one, not 2040.
Right?
Yeah, I like the second one.
I like both.
Yeah, 2040 was, well, I'm not going to get into that.
I watched it early in my anime age genesis.
Right.
We reviewed it on Nanashi. We reviewed both for Nanashi. It's good.
Riding Bean is literally about a guy named Bean Bandit whose only job is to take his car on the streets of Chicago and do things for bad people. He takes kidnap victims places. He runs drugs. He runs guns. He does everything that you would expect a person on the wrong side of the law to do if you pay him the right price. He doesn't kill kids, and he doesn't. I think he said, I don't kill kids, and I don't sexually assault or kill women. So he's kind of like an anti-hero. But that one movie is just about some shit that he gets into when the police think that he kidnapped the little girl, and he has to kind of prove that he didn't do it, all the while outrunning the people who are actually looking for the little girl, and she has a secret to money or whatever. Whatever. The story doesn't matter. All that matters is that it has the things that Kenichi Sanada does best, and that's fights. No, that's fights, gunfights, and car chases. All right? Never seen Riding Bean. People are driving down a highway in a long-ass car chase. Bean's supposed to be like this master driver. His car is full of gadgets. You know, it's great. It's freaking great. And if they do a Blu-ray release for Riding Bean and it actually gets the money it's supposed to, I will buy it post haste. And they have to do Gunsmith Cats, even though Gunsmith Cats owned by ADV Sentai Filmworks and it's sitting there rotting in their backlog collection. They need to give it to somebody else who appreciates it. Like Animega.
Are you going to contribute to the Kickstarter, Jahmere?
I am going to contribute to the Kickstarter. Better yet, if they get Riding Bean and it actually does what it's supposed to do and it makes that money, they should do one for You're Under Arrest, because last time I checked, Animego still owns the rights to You're Under Arrest. Because it sits there.
I got to say, the way you were describing this to me, this sounds like it really could be a live-action movie.
It could.
this sounds like it could be a live-action movie, with or without Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
If people have never seen it, they can watch it on YouTube for free. Like, somebody put it on a long time ago when it wasn't licensed, and it's still there. It's only an hour and a half long. Or an hour long. One of those.
That's an hour longer than Kung Fury.
You can watch it in glorious 1080p, all the fixings in English. I think, no, if it's in English, it's not 1080p. But it's still great. You still got to watch it. It's awesome. So I cannot wait. I hope that Kickstarter gets done, because if it doesn't, you're going to see me on this podcast again with a rant about how somebody could donate $14,000 for freaking a Takano video, but couldn't donate money to get a freaking movie off the ground that's only an hour long in 1080p. I'm done.
Jahmere,
Now,
we gotta make this happen.
I could really see this as a movie, and I could also see this possibly getting, like you said, a Blu-ray or maybe even an HD remaster. So I'm going to throw this one around the A3K horn. And I'm just going to throw this one out there to everyone here on the panel. We're going to go old school. Let's just say pre-2000. I'm not entirely sure Jack was born at that point or not. But if there was a classic anime from again pre-2000 that you think could be remade, sort of Dragon Ball Kai style, cut down, kill the filler, all of that stuff. What show do you think, Sean? What show do you think you might want to see as an anime, maybe remade or remaster that hasn't been done yet?
Wow. I would probably go with, and I could be wrong on the dates, but I think it was pre-2000, Yu Hakusho.
You think it was?
Hey!
You think?
Internet high five, Sean. That's my pick, too. Internet high five.
Needs to happen. Why are the things I want to have happen never going to happen?
I think that Yu Hakusho, and Sean will probably agree with me on this one, is that was a very, very enjoyable shonen. And as I've said a few times, I'm not the biggest fan of shonen fighting shows. I could stand to watch a remastered, maybe even a remade Yu Hakusho cut down a bit. It did get to drag on for a little while. A young friend of mine, I call her my little sister, Josie. Her favorite show is Yu Hakusho, and I think that would be one her and I could enjoy as friends. And it's been a long time since I've watched Yu Hakusho because, again, another show with 148 goddamn episodes. No. Never going to do that again. But yes, Sean, I'm 100% with you on that one. Yu Hakusho. All the way, A-OK. Jahmere.
Yes.
And you can't say Riding Bean. If there was an anime, again, pre-2000, you think you could see getting an HD remaster or getting cut to have a Kai release like DBZ Kai, what show would that be?
Well, I hate to piggyback off of what I just said. It's not Riding Bean. Probably going to have to say Gunsmith Cats on that, just because of the history I have with that show and the fact that it's one of those series that I was really mad did not actually get a full treatment release. It was apparently Riding Bean and Gunsmith were supposed to both be 12 to 24 episode series way back. Like, whenever they were first released, they were supposed to be 24 episode series. Riding Bean got turned into a movie because Kenichi Sanada could not agree on payment with the animation studio that was doing it, like his royalties or whatever he was supposed to get. So he could not, they didn't want to pay him what he wanted because he was kind of new. So I guess that's how it goes in Japan. Like, well, we're making a movie out of your manga. Oh, well, you need to pay me this much. Oh, well, we're not going to pay you that much. Like, I could see that. So he said, well, screw it. We'll just make a movie, and I don't want to have anything to do with the series anymore. It's like, okay, fine. So they made the movie, and that was it. And then he finished the manga, and he laid it to rest. He took the people from the manga for Riding Bean. He put them into Gunsmith Cats, making it about Rally, giving her a new skin tone, gave her a sidekick that used to be a Chinese prostitute, and then he made it work. He made it work. Now that's the thing. It's just great. But if it was to, I promise you, if somebody told me that Gunsmith Cats was coming out like in a remastered form and it was actually a series, that Lord have mercy, I'd probably, if I was still a civilian, I'd call out of work just like guess first episode of that show. I'm not even gonna bullshit you. That would immediately be a purchase for me. It's a great series. It's kind of like Writing Bean, except Rally. The story centers on Raleigh Vincent, who is Writing Bean's partner in his movie, and all they did was change her backstory a little bit, give her a partner, and they turned it in. It's still in Chicago, but she's supposed to be like a bounty hunter, and that manga series and that anime was great. So if you haven't seen that, you guys go check it out.
All
but
right.
you definitely give that a remaster.
Gunsmith Cats from Mr. Jahmere Durham. Jack D.
Yes.
What would be your ideal HD remaster?
I have no answer that hasn't already happened, except for a show very near and dear to my heart, because Sailor Moon happened. Nobody likes it, but it's okay.
Really?
It's
Really?
like,
People don't like it?
people don't like it. I don't know. I don't
Really?
understand. And then Case Closed is getting a new series or season or spin-off or whatever, and I'm looking forward to that being dubbed, because I am not a nerd, and I do not watch things subbed, unless they have no other option.
What you saying, though?
Are they starting from the beginning again?
I think that they're they're gonna start and he turns into an infant.
That's such a troll move.
He's in such a small child body, and then he gets shrunk again, so he's like an infant. He has to crawl around now, and everybody, like, the dad is like gray and like at the edge of death. Oh jeez, I don't actually know. I don't know, but that would be really funny now that I'm thinking about it. But I'm pretty sure that the beginning of the manga started in 99, 98. I would really like to see a current version of, or like a nice Blu-ray re-release at the very least, but at the most I'd like to see maybe even, I don't know, I'd take even a 13-episode series of this, which is saying a lot because it's a shonen basically, is I'd love to see Bo 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 Bo.
Yes!
But y'all better recognize, you don't just say that, you say Bo 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 Bo
Bo Bo Bo!
Oh,
Good lord. Let me just say this right now.
Jake Cullen. Jake Cullen.
Yes.
Jack.
That show is so satire.
Jack,
just
let
imagine.
me just say
Yes.
this right now, Jack. This
Yes.
right here. Yeah. You don't even have to say any more about that one. Honestly, that's just fantastic. Just yes, go, continue.
If y'all aren't aware, which if you're not, then get the hell out. Except Scotty, because he's allowed, because he's my Vanilla Ice now. But that's another story.
Word to your mother.
Bo 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 is the greatest parody of any shonen whatsoever. It is because an overlord wants everyone to be bald, and the hero is this Johnny Bravo talking motherfucker with a hairy chest and a huge blonde afro, and he fights with the fist of the nose hair.
Voiced by the incomparable Mr. Richard Epcar.
And I believe Jameson Price, word out to him, doing the greatest villain / companion, General Jelly Jiggler. Good lord. The whole thing is just reeks of, it's a very obvious Fist of the North Star parody, but it's also just generally very satirical of a lot of shonen, a lot of different tournament type things. There's a lot of really strange arenas that happen. It's very bizarre. But I'd love to see what they do with material from this current generation, this current ongoing what the fuckery of anime. I'd love to see, their take on Moe, which they kind of did with Denbo, the magical girl, but it was more of a magical girl parody. And I'd just love to see what they could do with that. I'd love to see maybe some more off to the side characters take a better part in it. I'd love to see a little bit more detail put into it. I mean, the artist, Yoshio Sawai, is a very simplistic artist, but he's also got a really great shading style that I'd almost even compare, don't kill me everyone, but it's very similar and very as much as a level of detail as Hirohiko Araki. I know you never heard of him. That's probably for the best. I'd love anything, but I'd love to see that in a nice Blu-ray set for now. But I'd really love to see what a parody show like that could do with so much good material now. I'd love to see. I would bet you $1 million that if that show got picked up again to do a current run of it, there would be at least one Kill la Kill reference, and it would be glorious. And we would love it more than all of Kill la Kill. I'm out.
That is a fantastic choice. You guys all had great choices. Seriously, this is going to make it even more difficult for me to choose. And I see all of you in the chat room. No, I am not going to pick something from Gundam. You all think you're so cute and so smart and so goddamn clever, don't you?
So what did you pick, David?
I'm not going to pick something from Gundam. I'm going to pick not something from the real robot genre, but something from the super robot genre. Show that came out around 1997 or so.
I call bullshit!
Pre-2000. And that show is the show that set the precedent for a little show some of you might have heard of called Gurren Lagann.
Dygard.
And the show I'm talking about is the King of Braves, Gao Gai Gar. You want to talk super robots. You want to talk high energy. You want to talk hype. And I don't even know if kids use this term anymore, but you want to talk about Gar. This is the show that birthed that term.
Half of him is train.
Oh, the train. God, yes.
All aboard the hype train.
With the level of animation quality that Gao Gai Gar could have with the mech designs, it'll show every other mech show out there how it's done. And how the power of courage can conquer the forces of evil.
Could you put the opening in the
Shining Fist.
Could you put the opening in the screen so that people can
Shining
see
Finger.
I can do that. Also, not only that, but there was a video clip that was on YouTube a few years ago, in that there was actually a pilot for a Gal Gai Gar dub. And one of the main characters of the show, President Taiga, who was the president of the organization, he was voiced by Dan Green. So just imagine a show as hype and insane and super robot and batshit crazy like Gao Gai Gar with the added voice of Yugi Moto at the heart of the cards. You might have a heart attack by the time episode 1 is done.
I might get sent to the Shadow Realm. Gosh!
It would be the most incredible anime you'd ever see in your life! And you might have a heart attack, but it would be incredible. And it would be totally worth it because it would bring you back to life! And it would fill you with courage and power! And it would make you want to save the world from the forces of evil and bad things like Astaroth's toy! Gao Gai Gar would be my HD remaster.
Mute yourself!
Mute yourself. You broke your own rule.
So that means I'm closing tonight.
Guys. I'm going to mute myself. Go into the tape.
All right, the takeaway now. So I guess
Go ahead, John Russell.
I'll go I'll go second to last. So, Jahmere, what is your takeaway?
Well, this is bullshit. Your parents are already on me. All right. So my takeaway is one. What did I write? Oh, my takeaway is that wait, I haven't been on here in a while. The takeaway is what we say we're gonna do.
Wait, hey, did we do our dotting?
That's what I'm saying. We didn't.
Bruh. Okay,
Hey,
do
David,
a
unmute
dotting.
yourself and
Jahmere.
let's get this thing situated here. What's going on?
Jahmere Durham. What have you been dotting? What the? Unmute yourself, please.
Am I
Good
good?
lord.
Yeah.
Am I good?
Good
All right.
lord.
What
Live
have I
internet.
I have been enjoying this lovely barracks room that you guys see here. This Navy barracks room. This is where I live. I've been enjoying this place. It was given to me. That's why I'm able to be with you tonight, because I got internets. I have been playing this little game here. I'm playing that. I've been enjoying myself with the guilties. And aside from playing video games, watching anime for the podcast, I've been trying to study to get my air warfare certification for the Navy. That takes up a lot of time. And that's pretty much it. Just those three things. Taking it easy.
John Russell.
What I've been dotting on the anime front, I've just watched the Heroic Legend of Arslan on Funimation. Love that anime. I know I'm gonna like an anime when I want to watch the second episode right after the first. That's a good starting sign. Really reminds me, the first episode not so much of Fullmetal Alchemist, but the second one, it kind of, from the music and just the pacing and the character interactions, it really kind of is reminiscent, obviously because it's the same writer, but just all the pieces coming together. Great show. Check that out. I read a manga. Yay, pat on my back. I'm keeping up with One Punch Man. Awesome news about One Punch Man. That's going to be coming out in print. But as far as just keeping up with the chapters, that's an awesome thing. Too short. Chapters are way too short. But the anime is going to fix that. So the anime fixes everything. And I've also been reading The Seven Deadly Sins. I think that's what it's called. It's a good series so far. It reminds me a little bit of Fairy Tail, but I'm looking forward to see where it's going to go. Hopefully I continue on with it. And then on non-anime front, really quickly, I've been watching a show called Outer Space on Yahoo Screen. Finished, and that one has a lot of, which is weird. It has like the character, the spokespeople for AT&T are like the star of it, like that one girl, and the one Indian dude, or he might be Pakistani, from those commercials, AT&T commercials. They're like one of the stars in it. It's interesting. Check it out. And what else? Community. If you guys are Community fans, they had this series. They had the season finale, but they wrapped it up as a series finale. But they're still talking. I just read an article. They're talking about whether or not they're going to bring it back, or are they going to do a movie? Is the movie going to wait a while? They're going to do it immediately. So that's all up in the air. But I feel sad that no one in my circles have really been talking about Community, and this season was awesome. So
Sean,
it's just, yes.
I can't count the reasons I should stay, because one by one they all just fade away. My lord, that is a really good show. If any of you up in the chat are ever interested, and any of you listening later on, Community is very much worth a watch if you have ever been young and nerdy and strange, or a possible lawyer and a douche.
Community is like probably the only sitcom that I think is tailor-made for anime fans. Like, if you like anime and you're into this kooky geeky world, even more so than, which I think I'm not a huge fan of it, just the idea of Big Bang Theory. In practice, I didn't watch the show, but in practice, I don't like the idea of it. I think Community is like a show for us. So if you haven't watched it, watch it all the way through. It ends really nicely. And that's pretty much it. I have some other news as far as Anime 3000. I'm going to save that for the takeaway. So, Jack?
What have I been dotting? I have but one line actually on the doc of what I've been dotting. I can go into a little bit more, but let me just read this ad verbatim for y'all. This is what I've been dotting this week. Mostly, first and foremost, this comic is going to be the death of me. More about that on the takeaway, because y'all love to make your little sexist jokes about it. You ain't even read it yet, because I ain't even done. But this comic gonna be the death of me. I checked out a little bit more of My Love Story, and Sean, I was so wrong about My Love Story. It sounds like it's got an embarrassing title, but boy, is it decent. I'm enjoying it, and also watching more JoJo. I wanted to finish the rest of part 1, and that's right. That's right. You take a drink.
God.
So I've been doing that. I was actually planning on doing a speed draw this evening of just going to start doing like a whole thing with nothing but JoJo characters indefinitely from parts until I got bored with it, but my tablet decided to explode, so more about that on the takeaway as well. But in the meantime, I've also been playing, I picked up Braid on the PSN recently, and it's very indie game as far as story is concerned, but I like it, mostly because I love Mario-type platformers, and I'm a huge fan of anything that involves time mechanics, whether it's books or stories or especially games, and it's very fun to play. And I've also been playing Puppeteer because I love weird, crazy, kooky visuals. So in the meantime, David DJM, the man with the shining fist, who has all of his hype just bursting to get out. Could you please tell us what you have been dotting like a sentence that you did not know how to finish?
Porn. Lots and lots of porn. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. Don't worry. It's only live action. None of the animated stuff.
Oh, that's a difference.
Seriously, it's nice to see that my evangelizing of Heroic Legend of Arslan is starting to work. Thank you, Sean. Nice to know that someone else is out there is appreciating this show this season. That's been my one on the anime side. On the not-so-anime side, most of you out there know that I am someone that enjoys the genre of professional wrestling, and if you're paying attention, you've probably noticed that there is a lot of wrestling on Wednesday nights now. That includes WWE NXT on the WWE Network for only $9.99, along with that Lucha Underground on the El Rey Network from Robert Rodriguez and some folks behind Wrestling Society X. Also, along with that, Ring of Honor, the wrestling promotion that brings you the very best pro wrestling product for your dollar, also on Wednesday nights on Destination America. And if you really feel like hurting yourself, you can tune in to watch Total Nonstop Action and tune into Impact if you want to do that. I don't really think you should. But Wednesday nights, if you're a wrestling fan and you're looking for something to deviate from the norms of the John Cenas and the Triple H's and the Authority and the Seth Rollins is pretty great. Dean Ambrose. Also, I'll say this, WWE isn't really that bad now, mostly because they've got a lot of indie wrestling guys now, like the people you'll see in a lot of those places on Wednesday nights, I'm just saying. But if you're looking for something outside of the mainstream, first of all, head over to fannypackwrestling.com, wink, and also check out WWE NXT, Lucha Underground, and Ring of Honor. And Ring of Honor on Wednesday nights. And if you want to, you can watch TNA. But
SmackDown was just here.
Who was just there?
SmackDown was just here, like last Thursday.
Oh, cool.
$15 tickets. A couple of my friends went and said it was really nice. They hadn't been to a WWE event since Stone Cold started Vince McMahon back in like 1998.
You mean last year? Because they bring them back all the time.
The ancient times of the Attitude Era. Ah, yes. So that is what I have been consuming. Now, Mr. Russell, may we get into the takeaway?
I think now is the perfect time.
Let's make with the way-taking. Jahmere Dura, tell us everything you've got going on.
All right, so everything I got going on. Just finished wrapping up the Excel World podcast. That's going to be dropping this Wednesday. Right, Sean? Yes. This Wednesday. When Sean drops it. I forget the time, but he's going to. I trust him. I send him my stuff. After that, it's going to be Jinro, the Wolf Brigade, because people have been asking us to review that show. I'm really trying to get into the list of fan requests and actually do them, because when we don't do them, it makes us seem like we're assholes. And we're not trying to be assholes. It's just some of the stuff that
we have another show on this network for that.
Send us to review we don't have and we can't get. So we're not ignoring people. We can only get what we can. All right. Beyond that, yeah, I'm not really going anywhere as far as I know, so I'm not really gonna have any more sea time. So I'll be here. So y'all gonna be getting consistent podcasts probably now until the end of the year, barring any unforeseen circumstances that I have. I'll also be on this podcast as well. Yeah, Jack's rambling tonight about the Vita has told me two things about the Vita. One, that I will not be getting a Vita. And two, that if I was going to get a Vita, I would probably get Tales of Hearts, because that's the only game that I actually care for on that system right now. Probably because I'm a Nintendo fanboy. Somebody offered me a Vita yesterday for $100, and I said nay, because I have a Nintendo 3DS, and I like playing things that are fun. With that, I bid you good day, man.
Thank you, Jahmere Durham.
I have a
Jackie
case
Tyler D. Pull yourself together.
Well played.
Get your hair out of your cornea.
Oh dear. Has it been like this the whole time? I need to get them trimmed. Okay.
Notice?
Am I ready to take away?
Make with the way taking, Jake Wellen. Make with
Hello.
the way taking.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Jack D. Tyler D. Oh, yes. Seriously. I am on Twitter as Jack D. Tyler D. I'm also on Fiverr. That's Fiverr with 2 R's. Taking $5 commissions because y'all are cheap and don't want me to draw you your squid sonas, which if you message me at Tumblr, Mechanical Symphonies at Tumblr, I will do, because y'all are crazy and love Splatoon, and nobody wants to buy me a Wii U and a copy of Splatoon for science, so I'm stuck on the wayside. I'm stuck on the wayside. So if y'all are going to be crazy and weird like you were with Steven Universe and want to make gem sonas, then I'll make you a squid sona, and I'll draw your little custom thing, because you're a kid now, and you're a squid now, and I'm just a kid, I'm just a kid, I'm just a kid. Also, since tonight, my tablet decided it hates me just as much as Jahmere hates the idea of having a decent portable system, then I decided I'm just going to do an extra long, extra special, actually try and get shit done episode of Let's Play Professor Layton and the Unwound Future. Y'all take a drink, because I didn't mention that at all, and I feel like y'all should take a drink for that, because it's the only time I mention Layton. I'm doing it blind, and I'm voicing a lot of what's going on, because I want to know about the plot, so it's been taking a while. We're 4 episodes in with half-an-hour episodes. That's 2 hours of content. We're not that far in, so I'm gonna do my best to pick it up with this extra long episode, and we'll see how far we get. I'll be posting the link to that on Twitter, but you can also find it if you just go straight up to the place where magic and mystery happens, and I don't hate myself, and somewhere, somehow, God loves me. Somewhere you can find this utopia at youtube.com/user/Yoshi*Spirit. God damn it, YouTube. Please change that. I've tried 3 times now. Good night.
Jack, sorry, you broke up just for a second. Could you say that YouTube name one more time?
Please? Understand. Yoshi, Star, Spirit. Please understand. You're a kid now. You're a kid now.
Yoshi.
You're a squid now.
Now, this is my.
I'm done with this hood.
This is my favorite part. I so rarely get to do this. Sean, please unmute yourself so I can do the thing. Let me do the thing. Radio voice, radio voice. Sean Russell of the A3K Network. What's going on at anime3000.com?
Well, on anime3000.com, after months and months of delaying, we have finally launched our Patreon. I know what you all are thinking. Yay!
Give us money.
You're asking for money.
We got a Patreon!
Give us some money.
I've been sitting on it for so long, but because my thing is I didn't want it just to be, hey, give us money so we can have money, blah blah blah. I wanted to have a value for you guys, and I wanted to be attached to something. So, in addition to launching the Patreon, which can be found at patreon.com/anime3000, we are also launching the A3K Club. Now, for over the years, we started in 2004 as a blog, 2008 became a podcast, 2010 became a podcasting network, and this is our next evolution. We want to do something that I don't see being done and really focus on the whole club atmosphere, which is going to eventually evolve into something even bigger, but that can't happen unless we have the support of everybody. So one of the big things about the club and the Patreon is we're going to be doing points. And if you decide to support us through the Patreon, if you go to the page, you can see all the information. You will be able to get exclusives on anime3000.com, some video content that you can only see if you're a member, early access to some of the podcasts and articles, a lot of other cool features that we'll be doling out, as well as opportunities to cash in these points for DVDs, Blu-rays, mangas, Anime 3000 t-shirts, tickets to conventions, and a whole bunch more. So we're going to be reaching out to a lot of people to get these exclusive things, and by your support, you guys will get to take advantage of that. And that also includes everybody that's on this podcast and that supports and produces content for Anime 3000, because we're all one big happy family. So definitely,
if you contribute to the A3K Patreon, I just might come to your convention and get drunk with you and stream live.
And that's what it's all about. It's all about creating this community. Everything that you guys do, all you guys right here, that come to the A3K podcast every week. You guys are awesome, and we want to keep that going with as many people as possible. So if you for whatever reason can't contribute to it, let people know. That's just as good as you contributing. And that's not to say that if you don't contribute, we're going to lock off our content. You'll still be able to enjoy all the stuff that you already enjoy, but we'll just be adding more value to the people that go that one extra step to help us move forward. So that
donators will get a hug from Cody Byer.
Yes, especially if you go to Otakon, and especially
a warm hug from Cody.
And in some sad news, in good news, convention news, we did get approved for press at Anime Expo, so we're 100% locked and appearing there. I'm actually going to be reuniting with former co-host of the A3K podcast, Matthew Culling. I think that's how you say his last name. I believe that is Matthew Culling. He used to be on the podcast. He's going to be taking photos over there at Anime Expo, so that's going to be cool. And some not so cool news, we did get turned down for our panels, which I believe we're in very good company for Otakon, so we won't be doing anything panel-wise, but we will be in force at Otakon, and who knows, we might just take over an area in the convention and just run our own panel. They're gonna have to kick us out. And I think with the beard and everything, they'll be a little bit intimidated by me, and they'll just leave me alone.
Also, Lily will be there, and she'll bring her artist friends.
So we'll just take over. We'll just take over the whole convention. I'll bring my own water, and I'll start doing my own cold water or whatever that people do.
We got that ice cold water, and it only costs $1. That old cold water, and it only costs $1.
So that should be fun, and yeah. So that's pretty much it for me. You're going to hear a lot more about this Patreon in weeks to come. And that's about it.
And you are going to hear a lot more about the A3K Patreon over at DeltaJulietMike.com. I host Shooting the Shit with Two Nerdy Black Guys with Brandon Cooper, where we talk about conventions and our life and everything else in between. You might also hear me talk about the A3K Patreon on the Fanny Pack Wrestling Podcast with my good buddy Petey Ray, where we introduce indie wrestling to the world at large. And I don't know, I think I have a few other things coming up. I got some new ideas, and they'll be at DeltaJulietMike.com, where Delta Juliet Mike Media does all that stuff.
Yay.
For Jack D.
Hold on. Before you leave, One Eye
Yes, Mr.
Season 3D, I bow down to you. That's the funniest thing that I've read on the chat. Which one of these? Which one of the milestones is telling me the purpose of the green screen?
I'll tell you right now.
You made my day.
It's because the blue screen made him just look like a floating beard and glasses.
The truth is, even we don't know. He won't tell us.
No, it's
He
a
won't tell
secret.
us. We have no idea.
You'll find out in October.
All I know is
spoopy.
that for the if you contribute enough to the Patreon, I will have some kind of drunken shenanigans with you at a convention of your choosing.
Free Spoopy 5 me.
For Jake Quellen,
Jeez.
for Jahmere Durham,
Jammer.
for Sean Russell,
Jahmere.
I'm David Majors. Thanks for listening to the A3K Podcast. Thanks for tuning in at A3K Live. We again broadcast every Saturday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at 11 p.m. We are on the YouTubes at A3K TV. You can check us out in iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and wherever RSS feeds can go through the power of anime3000.com. Anime3000 with the zeros.com. Follow us on Twitter at Anime3000, on Facebook at Anime3000. We're on Orkut. We're on Google Wave. We're on Prodigy.
We're on the Zune.
We got a Prodigy server. America Online, keyword Anime3000. Just go there.
We're on the Wii U servers. We're on the Miiverse.
We might even be on Battle.net.
We're on Juno.
We're on Gaia.
We're on Juno.
Gaia and WordPress and LiveJournal.
Neopets.
Earthlink.
We're on Neopets too.
Neopets.
We're on Neopets.
Anime3000.com.
Pop Tropica.
Thank you for tuning in for the A3K Podcast.
Good night, Canada.
We will
A
see you
hip
next
hop,
time.
a hippity hippity hip hop, a hip hop, don't stop the dup da da dup. You know what? America, we love you because you sang and you soul with so much so you ain't down to 102 years old.
You like the bag, I don't mean the boast. Like butter on your breakfast toast. I break it down. A baby bubble to the boogie, the bang bang, a boogie to the beat. We so unique, everybody. Let's dance to the beat. Boom, 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 boom. Bang bang, boogie so up jump, the boogie is the rhythm of the beat. And Scooby Doo.
I'm leaving all of that in.
America, we love you.
Because you saw him in the swing with so much so you can rock it to 110 years old.
Say goodbye to the internet, guys.
Baby bubble.
Goodbye to the internet, guys.
Bang bang.
Don't buy a beat.